Hello, welcome to Winter Disco Tabletop Gaming. In this video, we are unboxing and building the new Space Marine Primaris Firestrike Servo-Turret. An interesting model that has a pretty good range of movement for a stationary turret. And you can put them in a unit of like 3 and they can prowl around and shoot. Very strange concept. So this is what we're putting together. It's a pretty interesting looking model. Because it has a Tech Marine. I love Tech Marines. I love the chunkiness of their armor. It also comes with 2 different gun variants, as we'll see. And we will build this. So this is an easy to build kit. It's push fit. You don't need glue. I will be building it without glue in this video. But when it comes to painting, I'll probably do some sub-assemblies and actually glue it all together because it's just a bit more secure, particularly after it's painted. You don't want bits to come off and then paint to peel along that. So let's crack this open. Just a quick heads up before we start putting this together. If you want to get this model for 15% off, jump over to Element Games. And if you want to help support the channel, check the link in the description. And if you buy through that link as an affiliate code, I get a little bit of a kickback because it definitely helps the channel out. So definitely go pick it up for £17.85 if you're in the UK. Onto the build. So I've had this sitting around in the studio for a fair while since it actually came out. I've just been super busy, so I haven't been able to do anything with it. So firstly, some nice transfers. Very nice. You get tons of squad numbers, so almost enough for an entire chapter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, enough for a chapter there, which is pretty cool. You do get like the honor markings as well, which is awesome, and a whole bunch of other stuff. This is pretty standard what you're going to get. So that can be tossed away. Big base. It is I don't actually know off the top of my head, because I haven't looked at it yet. It is an 80mm base. So pretty chunky base. This is a specialized base, so they are releasing specialized bases for various different things, particularly the easy to build kit, so you don't actually have to glue it down. So it has the 3 different holes that you can stick it into. All right, and the instructions. We'll look at the instructions now, and then we'll come back to the sprue because it's a detailed build for easy to build. There's lots of steps. There's like 4 pages of steps. So, but then again, it is pretty straightforward. Build the chassis, put the legs on, then put the body on, the backpack, and that sort of builds this central location. Then you have the front barrier protection, a few different bits in there, and the 2 different gun variants. In this video, I'm only going to be doing one of the variants, but it's pretty straightforward, to be honest. It's nothing overly difficult. Some of the guns do go together, like they're 2-sided, and they'll go together that way. But others not so much, and that's pretty much it. And then you have the base. So that's what we're going to do. Let's look at the sprue. Let's actually get the camera in a little bit closer to the sprue while we're checking this out. There we go. That's better, much better. So it's a single sprue, or usually they're measured in halves. So it's like 2 halves, I guess. The body and some of the guns on some of them. Honestly, it's a pretty straightforward build. As it is an easy to build and a push fit one, some of the parts are weird. Like in this section here, you have the arm attached there. The legs aren't quite attached to the body, and this arm as well has the extra stuff on it. So it's a little hit and miss, particularly when you're building and trying to work it out for sub-assemblies of how to paint. But, that's fine. We're not going to go to that depth in this video. We're just going to stick it together and have a look. So let's get cracking. Firstly, we need to get parts 1 and 2 and stick that together. So 1 and 2 are these 2 bits here. So let's get that out now. So with these ones, be careful of the, oh, I missed one. The pegs, because you don't want to chop the pegs off if you're not gluing. If you are gluing, that's fine, you'll be alright. But if you are not gluing, definitely don't cut the pegs off. And I'll show you on this bit here, if I can actually cut it out, what I mean. So on here, if you can focus, you do have little pegs sticking out there. And it is attached there. So sometimes you think, oh, I'll just drop that off from there. But just be careful. It always never hurts to cut out bits and then test fit them and then trim them up later. So we're going to put that together right now. This goes pretty straightforward. straight together. There's 3 pegs, 3 holes. 4 pegs, actually. Pretty straightforward, and that goes together. Now, yes, this aggravates a lot of people and aggravates me. You can see on here, I've got a lot of the extra sprue bits. Focus on the camera there. A lot of extra sprue bits all over the joint. I'm not going to clean them up in this video. It just takes too long. But I recommend taking the time and cleaning that off. But I will come back and do that later. And I do that with all these videos. I'll put it together and then go back later and fix it up off camera. So now we need to get the legs to stick on. And so that's number 6. So obviously it's legs. You know what legs look like. It's not that big a deal. You will be able to find them. So again, I'm not cleaning up the bits on the side. I'm just going to try and put this in. Which way does it go, actually? It would help if I actually had a look at it. So this is the front section. So you look at the instructions. Sometimes it's better to lay it out like the instructions. Instructions go like that, and then the body goes in over there. And there still is another hole there as well, if you can see. Sorry about the shadow. Let me just fix that. Oh, we'll get that further away. Still working out. That's better. A little bit less shadow now. So I'm still working out all the shadows and everything. Trying to get this all sorted. So there you go. Like I said, there's a little hole there that just plugs in just like that. So next bit, we need to build the body. So body's pretty straightforward. Parts 3 for the head, 8 and 9. So it's kind of like a sandwich, a head sandwich. Goes like that around the head. So let's grab that one. So we need 8 and 9. We'll get the body first. So 8 and 9, pretty obvious. The only bits of the body there. It's on this part of the sprue here, next to the legs that we just cut out. And now I've moved stuff around the studio, everything's falling apart. So you might hear some crashing in the background. Just ignore it. It's not even here. It's just part of the ambience. So then we've got the body there and the head, which is number 3. Again, pretty straightforward. Nothing really that exciting. Don't get too excited. These are easy to build. So, yeah, pretty straightforward. So, get the body here. I'll actually move the camera a little bit closer now because we are doing some fiddly work. So the body, pretty straightforward, goes like that, but we do want to put the head in there. And the head will somewhat lock into place. But I mean, if you want, you can cut this little knob off and then just sort of stick it in there and you can rotate it around. That's a lie. You can't do that because there is a bit that goes into the eye. There's a bit that goes into the eye socket. So do not do what I just said. So it does take a little bit to grab and stick in there, but once it goes in, it will slide. Yeah, so it's very fiddly. Honestly, I do recommend a little bit of glue for this bit because it is somewhat fiddly. And there we go. I love Tech Marine armor. Look how chunky that is. With pipes and everything. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. So then we need to get part 5, which has the eye piece. So yeah, you can't really rotate the head unless you cobble together another bit of pipe. You could do that. A bit of old guitar string or just a little bit of wire that you have laying about. You could do it. Part 5. Part number 5. There it is there. And sometimes when I'm doing builds and talking, I just start going into different accents. Horrible accents. Not horrible, the accent is horrible. My interpretation of the accent is horrible. Okay. So, this is somewhat kind of difficult. So just look at what it looks like. So it's kind of strange because you can't, on the image in here, I'll just bring it into view, there is that bit there that you can't actually see. But we will put it together somehow. Somewhat difficult. So the arm goes in. This bit goes into, oh my god, a hole there. And that bit goes in there. That's actually quite difficult. You got to try to get 3 things in all at once. But yeah, we got there in the end. And yeah, it would be better once it goes into place on the whole entire turret, it'll be okay, but you can see at the moment it does actually come out and gets a little bit fiddly. But there we go. And I would definitely want to glue that in, particularly that little line there, little wire, and into the eye, because it's just so fiddly. But now we come to this section here where it all slides on together and sort of joins in. So in the end, your next step will get it all to go together. And there is another wire in there. So I just want to make sure that everything lines up. Because there is this weird little wire just sticking out there. Oh, I'm so sorry about the shadows at the moment. So you got a little wire sticking out. I can't actually see where that goes on the body. But we will test and see. That's really strange. Doesn't look like there's anywhere for it to actually go. And on the images, it doesn't look like it joins into anything, but there's only one spot it can go. So, okay, so you can't see here because there's too much shadow and it's really difficult to see in there. But if I can get it to focus, there's a little tiny bit just in there on the body. I can't even show you on here, but basically on the other side of this little bit here, there is a little, looks like there's a little tiny hole, or it may not even be a hole, it might just sit there. So, little fiddly, but we got there in the end. Next up, we need to do the backpack. So the backpack is part 7, and obviously we know what the backpack looks like. It's a standard Space Marine backpack. Well, sorry, not a standard. It's a bit more chunky, which I love. I think just sometimes you just want a little bit extra detail, like this extra paneling. If we get it in focus, come on, focus for me. Just this extra panel on top. I think that's really cool. Slightly small little bits and pieces on there, but just, I think that's really nice. Just a little attention to detail, I love it. So on the backpack, there are 2 little holes and 2 little pegs. So there's a peg and like a little socket. So that goes on and locks into place. Pretty straightforward. No big issue there. And we're getting there. This would almost be really cool as a chassis for a bike. Yeah, I'm getting ideas. So I really want to get some more bikes. I want to do like an entire Primaris bike squadron. Well, a company. I'd have to look through the rulebook to see how many. I think you can have up to 18 bikes. I think that's what people have worked it out to be, unless more models come out. But according to the rules, I think it's 18. That'd be pretty cool though. I like the idea. So, next we need the arm, which is part 4. And again, the arm is pretty straightforward. And I'm also, remember, I'm not trimming these down. I'm just trying to get all this into place. So on the body, there's 2 pegs there. One on the arm and one on the backpack for this cable here. So it's pretty straightforward. And it also sits on top of that part as well. So we'll get that actually in camera so you can see. So it's a little fiddly. Yeah, if I can actually get it on there. It doesn't seem to want to go on properly. There it is. Okay, a little strange, but it's a little tight. And that's partly to do with the low tolerance for variation to do with like the pegs and the sockets. It's pretty tight because it's all 3D design. So pretty much when they do it, they would cut a hole where the peg is, and then that's what the hole is. The peg fits the hole, pretty straightforward, but you don't get much. So when you go to glue this together, cut the pegs back a bit, and you can see, if we can get into focus here, there are some gaps just in there, and that's come down to the peg tolerance. So you cut the 3 or 4 pegs that are in the body, and that will actually go slot in nicely. Right, so we've got the main body here. Now, we need to do the feet. And then we'll build the rest. No, we don't need to do that. We've got to go to this bit. Step 2. I got carried away there. I was like, well, where's the rest of it? So we need to build the front, I guess, armor panel of the turret. So we need 10, 11, and 12. So 10 is the big boy. And from what I can tell, other than the Space Marine, this is pretty straightforward. Even the Space Marine is pretty straightforward. You just slot it all together. So we need 11 and 12. And 11 and 12, so 11 is there. Let's see if we can find 12. 12 is on the other side. So let me know in the comments below if you've made it this far. I like to see how far people make it in the videos. Because, you know, they can become long videos. So, alright. This section here, actually we're bringing this instructions up. So the instruction has it this direction, so if you actually put it that direction, you can see on the top here, get into focus, there's sort of like a little oval cut out, and it somewhat matches some little keys in there. So we've got to see if we can get it the right way. Just make sure that you're following along here. There is a short end and then a long end. The long end goes at the front of the model. Not that it matters, but kind of does. And it goes in somewhat, oh, you actually really got to push that in. It's a bit loose, but that's fine. And I definitely want to go in and glue that in, because that, yeah, it comes out pretty easily. So, because it's just sort of sitting in there. That's fine, though. And then we have number 12, which has some dials on the back there, if you can see that. That goes into the other peg right there, like that. And again, I'd want to glue that. And yes, I need to clean it all up. Don't worry, I'll do that off camera. And you have a nice little skull there. Pretty. I wonder what unfortunate soul that was. So, for this one, let's build it to the box. So we're going to go these bad boys. These are, don't know the rules off the top of my head. I don't think it says on the box what they are. It just says weapon variant. So, I think they're like assault cannons or assault stubbers. I don't really know, but that's what we're going to build because that's on the box. And of course you can build the other weapons that do require a bit more work. You have the two sides that you stick together and then stick it in, but that's fine. You can always paint them up and keep this as partly easy to build and push fit. But I want to do these ones because they're on the box and it's generally pretty straightforward. So we need 15 and 16. I don't really need to point out which ones they are, but I will. The two guns, the two obvious guns. And you can see on the other side, these guns need to be put together. So with these ones, just watch out for the peg on the end there, because I almost cut it off the other one. And got the peg, there we go. So, well, we need to build this now. So it actually wants us to put the guns in first, which is fine, it's fair enough. So, make sure you get the right gun, because you have the pegs and then that section, and you have the magazine cable. I don't know what they're called, I don't know about guns. That curves inwards, and the other one curves inwards too, so. And okay, so I was holding it at a right angle and trying to put it in at a right angle. It obviously doesn't go at a right angle, it's actually slanted. So that goes in just like that. Nice and simply. Pretty straightforward. I think I might actually face it this way so we don't get too much shadow on it. I do apologize for the shadow. I will sort out my recording studio one day. Okay. They are slotted in. Yes, they need to be cleaned up, but by me. So let's just double check. I'm just dry fitting because with this section here, these rules, you have the two, I guess, magazines, 13 and 14, that go into the side, and you have to do that before you put this section on, because you can't actually get it in, it gets in the way. So we need 13, 14. So cut those two bad boys out. And we are getting closer to being complete. Right. So this goes in that side. I just want to make sure I'm putting it in the right way. Nope. Does it go in that side? I think I've got it upside down. Yeah, I had it upside down. Okay. So just so you can see that again. On here, you can see there is a peg hole and then another round bit. Make sure the peg's at the bottom, and then that will go in nicely. And then this bad boy goes in that way. So we've got the drums in there. And then make sure it's the right direction, and then this will slide in. So there's 2 pegs just in there, and they go in the 2 empty holes right there. And that slots in, so it's pretty straightforward. It only hooks onto 2 pegs there. So there we go. Got this bad boy getting there. It's a big hefty boy. I love it. Right. So there are variations to this. So when you use these more stubbier ones, which I think are las cannons, I don't know. You use the different ones, 22 and 21. Because that seems to go together. It makes sense. Like, you could mix it up if you want. I don't think it really matters. Because honestly, you can't even really see. If you're looking at the front and you can't see it, even slide on, it's really difficult to see. You got to be really getting in there to check it out. All right. Now, the feet. So, big boy is here, so let's cut him out. So this is part 23. We're almost there. And then we need the feet. So, these are pretty much going to be the same feet. Yeah, they're the same all the way over. So it's 24, 25, 26, 27. That's these ones right here. Nothing complicated about this section. So I'm just going to cut them all out at once. And it will all be good. All right. So have a look. So this is the part that goes down onto the ground, so the gravelly bit, and you see some of them. So it actually does matter which ones you choose. Well, it doesn't really matter. We'll figure it out as we go. So some have pegs, and then some don't. So the pegs obviously line up into here. So we'll test fit it. We'll see how we go. I have an idea. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put them. I don't quite know at the moment. We'll just line it up here. So you can see the holes there. We'll get that right in the middle of the screen. You can see the holes. So we want it to line up somehow. I don't know, actually. We'll see. We will figure it out. So we'll put one there. So it's on the side a bit. So if we go... We'll figure it out. I think I understand how it works. It's just a matter of a bit of trial and error, I think. So I've gone this way. So on that side, and then these two will go here. So let's think about this. Where are they? Are these two here? So one goes there. The other goes in there. All right. Just trying to get it to line up with that little hole. It should line up without too much problems. Maybe the tolerance is a bit tight. Whoops. Okay. This is fine. This is why I do these videos, to be honest. We can find mistakes. And I really should have paid attention to this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to revert back, take these out, okay, and do it to the instructions. So we'll bring the instructions in here, and we'll do it on this part half. So we can see the back section goes like this. Let's actually get the rest of them out. The back section seems to go like that. So we need part 25. I'm not 100% sure yet. So we'll use... Let's see what we can get. Part something. I think this is part 27. So it has a peg on the bottom. And this will line up down that way. So you can see with great difficulty that the peg is on the right hand side. And it's facing down that way too. So if we put it on the front here, that's one. Then the other ones will go on this side. And then this one will have to go on the back. Now, that just trying to figure out how it goes. I'm just rotating this around to match this part here. So I want to get this leg on first because these move around a bit, so it's a little bit fiddly. So I believe that if I've done this right, I'm so confused. Does it go like that? Oh, I've done this wrong. Okay, alright, okay. Okay. You know what? I think I figured it out now. So they keep rotating in all the images. They rotate where it is. So you've got it at this angle here. In this image, it goes backwards. On this image, it goes that way. I think it's better to do it this way. So we need to put this bad boy here. So we're going to face it this way. So we know that these two with the pegs have to go at the front. Come on you get. On you get. There we go, that's better. Now I feel much more confident. Alright, so I've got them all on there now. They're all in the right space. So, still to the instructions. So it's 3 holes that way. And then going like that. I think it needs to go. Oh my goodness. Am I just a little bit incompetent? I think I might just be incompetent, to be honest. So one can go there. The other one doesn't even get to the hole there. We will get there, I promise. Is that more like it? No. This is so weird. I am thoroughly confused right now. It just doesn't get to the holes. That's so weird. I seriously don't understand. Am I just not bright? Sometimes I feel I'm not bright. Let me ponder on this. You know what I'm going to do? There's 2 ways we can do this. Figure it out without using our monkey brains. Or cut these pegs off. But I don't want to admit defeat. I don't want to admit defeat. It's so weird. It just doesn't... So I'm just playing around trying to get it to reach. If this is correct, the instructions are correct, the pegs don't actually reach. You know what? I'm an idiot. Just swap them over and they'll fit. Yeah. So, yeah, my monkey brain doesn't work. I just swapped these two over. So they're actually facing on the outside. Because I have no spatial recognition, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Nope. Wow. Who's incompetent? I'm incompetent. Does it even work? You know what? Screw it. We're doing this the hard way. We're going to glue it down. Screw you and your rules. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. Now I need some glue. I did have some glue. What did I have done with it? Alright, I got some new glue. New glue. So, this is what... This is why, again, I make these videos. So, when you go to make it, you don't make these mistakes. Okay. So, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to glue these feet down. So we'll just glue there. There we go. We're just going to glue like that. And we'll just make sure that the feet are straight, because that's what they need to be. That was a disaster. I'm not going to lie. It should have been a lot simpler than that. Because now we have the feet down, we can put this on there. And it does mean you can't get access to a lot of the undercarriage of the turret feet, but whatever. Whatever. So I've just cut out the extra little bit here, so on the instructions you can see there's some rocks. And that can go in some kind of cool little angle. And that goes in like that. There we go. So let's clean up and we will have a good look at it. And then we'll have a good hard look at ourselves and our life choices and how, you know. This is all part of it though. This is why I do these videos. I remind myself. So here we go. Space Marine Primaris Firestrike Servo-Turret. So let's bring this up. It's a pretty cool model, not gonna lie. I do like it. It's a strange model, but I do like it. Because I love Tech Marines and all of that stuff. Particularly look at that shoulder pad right there. Get a good close up of that. Very cool. And the Tech Marine itself, like we saw, has some very cool bits. Like, poor guy's lost his arm, but he's probably got it chopped off because that's what Tech Marines do. Got a servo skull in there, 2 guns. Yeah, that's really cool. I like it. I think it's a cool model. Hope you enjoyed this build and you were able to follow along, particularly for that last little bit. It was a bit fiddly, but we got there in the end. I hope you did enjoy that build. And if you do want to get hold of this model, head over to Element Games and grab it for 15% off. Click on the affiliate link in the description of the video because you get it cheaper and it helps me out. There we go. Primaris Firestrike Servo-Turret. Let me know if you've got this far in the video and had problems like I did. But thank you for watching. Check out all the playlists and on the YouTube channel site because we have tons of these kind of videos. I guess I call them like follow along, build along, I think I usually go with. Just real time. No edits, just to show you things to look out for. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.